You sometimes ask us to feature more budget-friendly options on our channel, and I've got good news. That's not going to happen today. In fact, we are going to go as far as possible in the opposite direction. Today, we are featuring $1 million of 1911's.
$1 million.
Well, here we are, everyone. There's not a lot of places that you can go to film a video with $1 million of 1911's. Fortunately, I know some of those few places. Actually, in 1911's, I can only really think of one, without this video being 5 hours long because you had to have 500 guns for it. So Nick from Cabot Guns is here.
Yep, thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Look at us. Look at us. We're united.
Being professional.
Yeah. Nick was one of the first guests on our channel, probably many ages ago at this point.
Yeah, and we did do a, we actually played a round of horse that was not on your channel. I featured that one time and got my ass kicked.
Yeah, got his ass whooped, everyone. So he's here.
I'm back for more.
To get his ass whooped again. I don't even know what that means, hardly. But you know, we're gonna give it a go. So here's what we're gonna do, guys. We've got. I know you're wondering, like, how many guns are they featuring to get to $1 million? So the answer is 14. Very specific, 14. So we're going to go in, I believe it's ascending order, not descending order. I believe it's ascending order. We're going to start with number 14, lowest value, the cheap seats, if you will. And we're just going to work our way up to some of the crazy stuff.
Yes.
So you guys got to stick around, obviously, because the crazy stuff is pretty damn wild. And with that said, we will kick it off in just a moment here. Guys, a couple quick thank yous. First of all, to the generous gentleman that is a friend of Cabot, watches our channel, that's letting us use his nice room here to film the episode. We very much appreciate that. And the second thank you, don't freak out. Don't freak out. It's not gonna get weird, everyone. I'm just talking about belts, okay? So today we are for like the last year and a half or whatever. This is the Ciguera belt, okay? Yes, the extra small is almost like it. I almost wish this was like a medium. Maybe they should adjust their sizing. Extra small sounds very feminine, but whatever. Got a 30-inch waist. I do what I got to do on belts. This is the light inner Velcro belt. This is what I wear for EDC. Very flexible, as you'll notice. So like, hey, even if you're going to the range, if you're not doing like a massively heavy loadout, this is perfectly adequate for the range. It's what I use on the range the vast majority of days. When I need to bump it up a notch, I take it to the Emissary belt. That's not a battle belt. The battle belt would be the battle wagon. For those of you that like to do battle with either cardboard or an opposing force. So check that out. The code is 1911 Syndicate, no spaces. That'll save you guys 10% off the site. Also helps support our channel, and obviously you guys get some good gear through it. They got a bunch of other stuff too that you can check out. But appreciate Ciguera Gear. Let's get on with the show. All right, gun number 14, what do we got?
Well, we are going to start off with something very special. This is actually one of a unreleased set of pistols. This is the Eggerling signature set. So if you go to our YouTube channel, we have a portrait of a craftsman of Robert Eggerling, the master of all Damascus steel. And on that was an epic video, by the way, that goes through how this Damascus steel is made.
Is this the one that he did behind the camera?
This is the one that Crispy came out to Pennsylvania and filmed.
He made that video.
Yeah, so he made that video, and it just goes into so much detail on Robert Eggerling and his method of coming up with steel. But he made the steel for the grips on that. So this is the culmination. And Crispy, when did you film that? How long ago was that?
In October, it would have been 2 years.
So just to give you an idea, he filmed that 2 years ago, and the guns are just now being completed. So that gives you an idea of the process from start to finish and how long it takes. So these grips are Eggerling pattern steel that he forged there in his shop in Pennsylvania. And we did a very cool inscription on the slide, because when he was in that video, he was actually drawing out the pattern, how he anticipated it would be completed. This is an exact reproduction of what he drew in that video. Down to, there's little dots that show up from where he lifted the pen and put it back down. So it's an exact reproduction of his drawing on the slide.
So the idea is to take the wave pattern from the mosaic grips, and I'd like to replicate your handwork on the wave, and so that when we build the slide we can recreate and mill engrave the wave pattern. And my thoughts are maybe 3 wave lines extending along the flat element of the slide would be the palette to work on.
And then on the frame, you'll see Robert Eggerling, his exact signature reproduced on the front of the frame.
Jeez.
So this is very cool. The Damascus steel is in the grips here. We have an Eggerling Damascus trigger. And these are fantastic guns. If you notice the front sight, a lot of people like to use, gold beads or on, certain pistols, brass beads.
Oh, wow.
What do you see there?
That's a diamond, isn't it?
That is a diamond.
Holy
so
shit.
Diamond front sight on the Robert Eggerling signature series. So these aren't released yet. By the time this video is out, they may be released. Some of the stuff you're going to be seeing today hasn't seen the light of day yet.
Yeah.
By the time this is out, they may or may not be available or gone.
Yep.
We haven't priced these, but with
I mean,
Robert
ballpark.
Eggerling steel, ballpark per pistol is going to be between $18,000 and $25,000.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
so
budget friendly.
that's where we're starting.
Very budget friendly.
Number 14, 18 to 25 is the range that we're looking at per pistol. There's going to be 3 of them, but just one right there.
Gorgeous. Gun number 13.
Gun number 13 is
Cool
very
case.
cool. Yeah, this is a very cool case. This is made in Italy, an Italian alligator case. But inside here, we have a pistol that is very unique. It is a prototype of one of our Gun of the Month pistols from 2022. So we make prototype pistols to test the engraving, to take the photography. And if you don't know what Gun of the Month Club is, it's like
It's the best
Jelly of the Month Club, but for men.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. So
Yeah.
this was the prototype pistol. It's engraved by Figa master engraver Lee Griffith, and it is called Hummingbird. So you can go ahead and handle that. And what's so unique about it is the style of engraving. So Lee is really known for his animals. There is a hummingbird on there. But the style that he used for this engraving, and this is all hand engraved, to create a very 3D look. So go ahead and look at that, but then give it a feel.
So it's trippy because you look at it and you go, wow, you really went deep on the engravings.
Yes.
Like I'm going to feel the ridges of this. Hard to explain if you can't see it in person, but you're like, there's a lot of levels to this. But it's basically smooth.
Yeah. So it's traditional depth engraving that looks much deeper than it is because he's using the angle at which he's engraving to create a very 3-dimensional depth. And then the grips on there are, of course, 10,000 plus year old woolly mammoth. So those are mammoth molar grips. So that was a prototype. We did make the Gun of the Month Club pistols that went out. That the entire value of the set is in the 6 figures. So prototypes, we don't have an exact number on them, but if I were to venture a guess on what it would be worth out there, $22,000 to $25,000.
Yeah. Okay. I'll start.
Especially on a prototype.
Yeah. I'll start saving.
Yeah.
It's all good. That's cool. That really, the engraving on that for me is very, very cool. Because, I mean, it is very trippy. So I can't believe that's all basically flush when that looks like it's like a sticker. You know,
It looks like it goes deep into the
A
steel.
lot of depth. Very, very cool. Number 12. And I must admit, on this list, without having seen everything yet, if I was picking one off the top of my head, this might be my pick.
Yeah.
I love this. It might be because people say I suck the blood from people, which is not confirmed. Tell us about this bad boy.
So in this coffin case, we have one of our limited edition pistols, the Nosferatu 1911. And this is a limited edition. 13 pistols will be made, engraved with imagery from the 1922 film Nosferatu.
You know what I say to that?
What's that?
Good evening.
Good evening, yes. So this is very cool. We actually made 13 of them, or are making 13 of them, and we released them on Halloween for order last year. So there's a lot of details. Go ahead and put that in your hand there.
I'm taking that.
So if you look at the pistol, Otto does some amazing imagery on there from the movie itself. And what's really cool is going into the history of the horror genre, you know, in total. The film Nosferatu really was the beginning of the entire horror genre. Yeah, if you look at the cross on the bottom, it's amazing because he's engraving the outline of the cross and then high polishing just the cross itself. So the level of engraving, the depth, couple other features that are very, very cool.
The teeth on the bottom,
the teeth on the bottom. Man. The white gold front bead on the front sight. But then if you look at the medallions and the grips, the medallions and the grips are silver.
Oh, so hell yeah.
Those are cast silver medallions, which is, you know, just the little touches.
So, I mean, this really does it for me. Like, this, I think, is cool. And I'm not, but like, you know, I'm very practical, generally speaking, in my gun collection. And from a art level, I mean, this really gets me going. It probably says something about me at my core.
It says something about you for certain, but I don't know if it's all bad, because this is very, very well done. We've had many people wish we'd make more than 13, but 13 just makes sense. They're all serialized.
In the case.
Well, the case too. So you have, in the shape of a cross, we have some snap caps here, and if you look at the tip, we have the vampire right there at the tip, and then engraved on the case, Nosferatu.
And then what's the little thing there?
So this is an inkwell. So this inkwell right here for having some holy water inside of. It is also engraved with Nosferatu around the top of it. So the whole thing together paints the story of Nosferatu and vampire lore just in general.
Yeah. That we'll move on because we got a lot to cover, but hot damn, that's my
yes. Well, I didn't give you the price yet. Oh, so you know this was a limited edition. We made 13, or making 13 of them, and that was $25,000.
That's a steal. That's a steal, everyone.
At $25,000, really, for the level of engraving, it was a very
that's what I'm saying.
Very good price.
Yeah, hop in there.
Yeah.
Gun number 11.
Gun number 11. Yes.
Here we go. I don't even know what's in there.
No, I have to lean forward. I can't see past this this case here. This is kind of cool. It's from Mark Houston, MFH Design. He's a fantastic case maker for us, and it looks like a book.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, but when you take off the top here, which is held by magnets, you see a pistol held inside. We've all heard of French fit before. But we're not all about. Have you heard of a French fit case before? Okay, so everyone except for Jake and maybe a few people watching this have heard of French fit cases before. Okay. This is our style of fitting a pistol in there. We call it freedom fit, because if you look at a French fit case, that 1911 is stuck down in there. It's very tightly held, like France was during the Second World War. So we have the freedom fit for America's and America's pistol. So it is held in there with magnets. But this pistol right here is called Geometrique. And this is also hand engraved by Lee Griffith. He is a FIGA master engraver. And this is very, very interesting because this is a style of engraving that hasn't really been done before, where the pistol is completely finished, and it is finished including the black coating that's on the pistol. And then he engraves after that through the coating. So it is a one and done. You cannot make a mistake. And if you look at this, this is all hand engraved, the geometric patterns. And look at how straight those lines are and how they, intersect and kind of, go front to back, so you get some depth in the engraving itself.
You do.
But like I said, that's one and done. You cannot make a mistake, because then the whole project is completely ruined. So this is actually a prototype. It's not available for sale. We just wanted to see how that would turn out. If I were to put a value on it, I'd say $25,000.
Okay.
Just due to the amount of time and the fact that it is, you just have to be perfect.
Yeah, which I don't think either of us could have pulled this off.
No, I couldn't pull. I can't. I can barely write my own name.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want to send me, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? A lot could go wrong.
With me doing it.
Oh, with you doing it? just a ruined pistol that's guaranteed.
Yeah, well, hey, there you go. Geometric. Can you roll it? Can you roll it?
I mean,
Is that proper
you
French?
could, well, yeah, geometric.
Geometric.
Metric. Well, it's an American fit. It's freedom fit, not French fit.
French fries over here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. Top 10. Here we go. With a, I mean, this is a banger at the number 10.
This is very cool at number 10, and I have my Michael Jackson.
That's how you know things are about to get serious.
Yeah, things are about to get real here. This is Cloak, and so inside of this very cool mirror polished case, we have a 1911 that we created, and then polished. Oh no, I'm having to touch it without. That's fine. It's just a little bit. So this here is Cloak. So Cloak, I should have the glove on my other hand, but Cloak is a mirror polish, so down to a 2 micron hand polish, 1911, and this was inspired by those homes that you see that are built into the hills and like the Swiss Alps and whatnot,
you can't see it.
that are completely mirrored. So we saw that and we said, you know what, we have to replicate that with a pistol, because why not? So when you take all these, faceted angles and you polish them by hand, so this is completely hand polished, you don't use machines or wheels on it. Couldn't use a wheel to do polishing. It creates that funhouse mirror effect.
Yeah.
So this has to be done by hand to get this actual full mirror polish effect to it. But when you go set it out in the middle of a field, it disappears. In fact, what's really cool, when you set it in the middle of the field and you start seeing kind of the reflections on it, it reminds me of Predator. When the Predator is walking through the forest. So this is very cool. It was intended originally to be, let's just do one. But once we saw how cool it was, we realized this is going to have to be something that we do a very, very limited edition, because it takes a unbelievably long time.
How many of these are we talking?
If we can do 4 a year, that would be a lot.
Okay.
So it would be that would be a stretch to be able to get that much polish time done.
What kind of value are we placing on this?
This will be $30,000.
Okay.
Yeah, $30,000 is a good place for that to be.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
In person, it's wild. Very cool. I mean, it's hard to imagine there's 9 more valuable than that, but okay, I guess we'll see where the day goes.
Yep.
The number 9 spot, big old box of wood here.
Big old case. Yeah, this is a Steve Parker design case. So these are what we like to have. We have a lot of different designs, but this is something that we use on our one-of-a-kind pieces, which a lot of the stuff we've shown you actually is kind of one of a kind. But this in here, once again, in our Freedom Fit interior, is Thor. So this is very cool because as we get this steel, and this is Damascus steel on the slide, the grips and the trigger from Robert Eggerling, when we get the steel in, we actually look at it and look at the pattern and kind of create the story around the pattern. We're never sure how it's going to finish out completely, but we looked at the lines on here on the slide specifically, and it just kind of looked like the depictions of Mjolnir, Thor's hammer. Okay. So from there, this really
the hammer had a name.
The hammer had a name. Yeah, Mjolnir. Oh. Yeah, I mean, in the movies, he called to the hammer.
Did it?
It was his friend.
Watch nerdy Marvel stuff, but yeah.
Well, you just gave up my passion there. Marvel, not really. But yeah, so this is Thor, which is the Damascus steel slide from Robert Eggerling, grips from Eggerling, trigger from Eggerling. And to really keep in with that theme, you can go ahead and
the rear sight's got a interesting.
The rear sight has an interesting design and interesting pattern because that is a meteorite.
I was going to say that's not steel, is it? Yeah. Or I don't know if meteorite counts as rock.
It has different parts in it of steel. There is a lot of iron in it. But yeah, so that is a meteorite rear sight, and the front sight is once again a diamond. So that is a one of a kind piece that is sold. But it just gives you an idea of what one of a kind pieces from Robert Eggerling look like.
Yes.
And the difference in the different steels that you'll see. And that is $45,000.
Very cool. Number 8 spot. Send it.
You know, I think you're going to like this, specifically because of the name. This is Diablo Damascus.
Got that heat.
Yeah, it's got that heat. So this is Jason Morrissey, the blacksmith that produced the Damascus steel billets for the grips and the slide. And if you look at the pattern, just how unique the pattern is, but also how it's finished, to where when you feel this, you can go ahead and hold that.
Yeah, the two-tone nature.
The two-tone nature is very cool, but also just the size of the different elements of the steel that's in there, and how you have the lows, which are the black portion, and then the highs, which are you know, obviously polished steel of a different type. It creates this really cool look that you really, I mean, I haven't seen in any other Damascus steel pattern ever. Jason Morrissey was famously on the Forged in Fire series.
Oh yeah?
So
okay.
yeah, he was on Forged in Fire. Gold bead front sight. This is a pistol that we made a few years ago, and it is in a collection, and the owner has generously let us show it off for this.
Very nice of him.
Very nice of him.
much.
Yeah, we have very good customers. So I would put the value on this pistol at about $50,000. We get a lot of requests for redoing this pistol because of the way it looks. It's so unique.
Yeah.
The great thing about Damascus steel, but also the downside of it sometimes, is that it is unique. It's a fingerprint, and we will never be able to recreate this pistol the way it is. This is one and done. So Diablo is the only one that's going to look like this.
Yeah. Super clean. Very cool. Like that one a lot. All right, guys, we are halfway through the list. We are at roughly $250,000 that we built up at this point, which means probably gonna get a little of that El Diablo sauce on the rest of this list.
Yes. Yeah. It's going up from here.
Yeah, gonna get the mega heat treatment. So number 7, what do we got?
We have SETI, and that is short for Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. And this is made from steel on the slide, the grips, and the trigger from Robert Eggerling. So we do, you know, we are blessed to be able to get not a lot of steel, but you know, enough to make these amazing pistols from him. So the pattern, the wavy pattern that's in the slide specifically, it really looked to us like I think it's called an oscilloscope, where when there's a signal coming in, it makes you know, squiggly patterns. And there's 2 movies that really popped into mind. You know, Contact with Jodie Foster. I believe they had a scene of the oscilloscope when the signal was first coming in, and then also The Arrival with Charlie Sheen, not to be confused with Arrival from 2016. This is a 1990s alien movie.
I'm sure very good. Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. It was actually a very interesting, underrated movie in the 90s. But yeah, so Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, just from that pattern that really reminds us of an oscilloscope there. So unique,
wild,
one of a kind. And also the wild thing about it is that we did have enough material to forge a matching knife that goes with the pistol.
Super cool.
So it's very cool. So pistol and knife made from the same steel. This is on loan to us from a collector for this video here. So once again, we have very generous collectors that are willing to let us keep their one-of-a-kind pistols and you know, take them out for videos and things like this. So value, $50,000.
Amazing. Yeah. Awesome. SETI.
This is cool. We have another Stephen Parker case with the Freedom Fit.
I like Stephen Parker's cases.
I like Stephen Parker's cases. I like Freedom Fit. I like freedom in general.
Yeah, I'm into it.
This is the Mosaic Damascus, which was part of our first limited edition set of pistols that we produced with Eggerling steel. So this is very cool. The trigger, the grips, and the slide are all made from steel that Robert Eggerling forged in his trademark Mosaic pattern. Yeah, so that is very unique, and it is on loan to us, just like a lot of these pistols, for this video from one of our collectors. And that is a high polished Damascus frame. I'm sorry, the slide, the grips, and the trigger. And we have a special process that we use to bring out the colors. So if you look at the steel,
it's insane, man.
I mean, you see purples, you see blues, some areas you can actually see some kind of, you know, teals that are in there. and that's from the properties of the steel through a special heat treat that we do, but it's all hand polished to get to that finish where it is prior to bringing the colors out. So
it's crazy.
It's very cool. And this is cool because this was the first set that we ever did. So we're talking, I believe it was 5 years ago. So this is actually kind of a piece of history. This is what set off everything that we've done with Robert Eggerling. And yeah, you're looking at the frame finish. It's kind of an oil rub bronze type of finish on there. It's a proprietary finish.
Yeah.
And it's very cool. So
from a wow factor, for me thus far on the list, this probably has the most wow factor. I still want Nosferatu.
Yeah, Nosferatu is very cool. This, and it really, I mean, it's Robert Eggerling's signature style of forging.
It's crazy.
So to be able to get those different patterns and those mosaics in the steel, it's really the thing that he does that is unique to him.
Unreal. Very cool. What was the value we're placing on this bad boy?
Value I would place, and once again, we're talking, it's an art piece,
yes.
You should say. I would put 50,000 on it.
Okay, got it. Hey, 5-0. Guys, since we're filming with Cabot today, do you know what they like? Freedom, and that seems pretty obvious from what you're seeing in the video today. You know who else likes freedom? That would be our buddies over at Big Tex Ordnance. They've got a ton of gear that we use often on the channel. I'm excited about that partnership because I've been a customer of theirs for a long time, as has Chris. So whatever gear you need, whether it be optics, lights, accessories, other hardware, different things, you get what I'm saying. Check it out. There's a code you guys can use, 1911sin, S-Y-N, not S-I-N. 1911sin will save you guys 10% off the store. Everything, your order comes with a copy of the Constitution and some candy, right? And if you can't get on board with that, I don't really know what to tell you. Very fast shipping, same day if it's placed before 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, aka Texas time. And if they say it's in stock, it's in stock. They only carry good stuff, so really if you're ordering something from them, you don't have to worry about, is this some hot garbage? No, it's not, because that's not what they do over there. And then beyond that, if you guys need any help with real estate, let us know. The 1911 Syndicate is a real estate company. For those of you who might be new viewers on this video, behind the scenes, we're actually a real estate company. You can go to our website, check that out. It'll be linked below, as well our Patreon, where you guys can get some behind the scenes content, special giveaways, merch. We do private classes, not taught by us, but sort of, hosted, or if you will. So check all that out. Really appreciate the support. Let's get back on with the show.
I'm gonna come.
Top 5.
Yeah, this is number 5. It is the 5th pistol. It is the most beautiful pistol we have. No, it's just Trump. It's Trump 45.
I like this gun so much more in person than I would have ever anticipated.
Yeah, so
it is cool.
This is the Trump 45. So when President Trump won the election, we wanted to commemorate it by creating 45 limited edition pistols. So they are all chambered in 45. We made 45 of them.
Yep.
And they are all serialized with the president, the first president, being Washington #1, and going all the way up to where the 45th pistol was Trump 45.
Okay.
So they were serialized to, commemorate all of the presidents leading up to that point. They are all sold, so this is also on loan from a collector.
Now, I got to ask you this.
Yeah.
I would assume with something as unique as that the different serial numbers fetched different values.
Yes, the different serial numbers did fetch different values. So
Washington, got to be a premium. The Trump one, got to be a premium. Lyndon B. Johnson,
Jimmy Carter and Clinton were kind of like Obama. Well,
right.
And what's interesting too is, they did fetch different values. One did sell at auction for $80,000. So the serial numbers do play a part into that. And out of the 45, they were all right-handed pistols except for Obama, which was a left-handed pistol.
Oh,
so that was the
good.
only left-handed pistol that was
good.
in there. But this is a completely hand-polished and gold-plated pistol. So this is not titanium nitride. This is actual gold
It's the real
plating.
deal.
It's the real deal all over the pistol, just like Trump would want it. But we added some special Cabot touches, like the trigger, which is made out of meteorite, and the front sight that is made out of meteorite.
It's a space rock for everyone
It's a
at home.
space rock, yeah, meteorite, space rock. The jeweled, barrel really lends, more to it. But the cool thing is, cases. Like we've shown a lot of different cases that we have. This case is actually made, has wood in it from the USS Constitution, and and it has a glass enclosure that goes over it just to really show off your Trump pistol in your office. If you want to show dominance, when somebody's coming in for negotiations, you have your Trump 45 sitting there in the office. So value on this pistol, I would put them, easily at $50,000.
Yeah, and that's probably, and as we know from auction, that's probably even a tad bit conservative. But
It's conservative, but I mean,
we're being chill here.
Different
everyone.
serial numbers, because we have, what do we have here? We have Harding. So we have Harding.
Forgot
is
that was
here.
a president.
I will just put that at 50.
Yeah.
As a number. But this, to this day, is the most requested pistol. And we made 45 of them. That's it. Like, we're not doing the Trump 45s again.
We'll see how November goes.
The blessings may abound. So who
We'll
knows,
see
who
how it
knows what
shakes
happens
out,
there.
man. We don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be wild.
Yep.
I guess we'll go on to number 4 then.
We're at number 4, and I mean, we see a case here, and by this point you can tell me this is a case made by
Stevie.
Stevie. Yep, Stevie's case. And inside this fit is
Freedom.
because we're not about the French fit. But interestingly enough, this pistol is named after the first French king, if you could really say he was the first French king.
You know what I say to that? Oui, oui.
Oui, yes. So this is a Damascus pistol called Clovis, that is an homage to that first French king from the 6th century, when everything was transferring from the Roman Empire and there was a lot of petty kings in the area. Clovis really consolidated power.
Yeah, sounds like a solid dude.
Oh, he's a solid dude. His dynasty was reigned for about 200 years. So definitely,
it's longer than mine or yours.
He did some powerful things there, but this is made, once again, from Egerling steel that has been polished and treated to bring out the colors in the steel.
Egerling really a hallmark of the, he's really a Cabot, hallmark figure.
He is, and the Mosaic set really started it. We did some California 1911's made from Golden Gate Bridge cable.
Those were amazing.
Those were really cool.
Those
Tried
were
to get one
amazing.
for this, and that did not work out. But his steel is just so unique, and he's in his late 80s, and he just says such amazing stuff. To know that there is a limited amount of steel that's ever going to be produced by him, it is extremely exclusive. So yeah, this is Clovis right here.
Yeah.
And this is very cool. If you look at the pattern on the slide and the pattern on the grip,
Jeez,
it really
fine
just
details.
it comes
Holy
out.
smokes, man.
And you can see the different layers. So every time you see another line in there, that is another layer in the steel. The front sight is very, very cool, because that is not a gold bead front sight.
It's just gold.
That is a gold. That is a solid 18 karat gold front sight that has been cast for us. So,
it is. I mean, you would have to have some sort of, I don't know, macro lens. I don't know what you call it. I believe macro lens, maybe. I don't know. Something that films very small things like watch dials or something to truly show the detail of this. I mean, it's so fine.
Yeah.
The lines and the layers of the Damascus. I mean, it's like, my God, man.
well, and some things to point out too is this is one of our one-of-a-kind pistols. It is sold, and it does have our full dust cover frame. So that frame, the dust cover goes all the way out to the end, has a different trigger guard, and it is something that we do on limited editions and one-of-a-kind pistols, because it really it's a very regal and substantial looking frame.
Yes,
So,
for Clovis.
for Clovis.
Yeah,
For Clovis.
Well, that's Clovis coming in. And what, did we attach a value to
No,
this?
at $55,000.
Okay. Man, it's got to get real spicy here.
It's gonna get real spicy.
Real spicy soon.
fast.
Okay, this is at the number 4 spot, yeah?
Number 4.
All right, moving on to top 3 then.
Big number 3, we're actually really starting to step it up here. This pistol, once again, is on loan to us from the collector that owns it. Not the collector, but a collector that owns this pistol. This is a project we did a few years ago, and you may have seen it featured in Maxim. I believe it was in Forbes as well. This is Stellar Fusion.
Stellar Fusion.
And it is a fusion of many different elements from
Stellar.
From Stellar, which doesn't mean it's exceptional, which it is. It's from the stars.
The stars.
So we're going to start down at the bottom of the gun, which might be kind of unusual for people, but these grips are made from Libyan desert glass. So a meteorite came down about 30 million years ago, slammed into the desert. And the heat from it actually took the sand and turned it into this glass that has a very unique color, and you can see just some of the clarity that you're going to get through these grips here. Yeah. So these grips are made from that Libyan that Libyan desert glass. There was some.
Does that mean it was in Libya?
The desert.
Okay.
There, yeah. That's where it hits, the desert.
There's a term for like that.
Yes, well, that's the term for the glass. There was some dispute about where this glass came from, like how it was made, until a few years back it was tested and it had traces of osmium and iridium in it.
It's like a DNA test for.
It's a DNA test. Yeah, iridium.
Grips.
These are elements that only come from meteorites.
Yeah.
Fun fact: King Tut had I believe, an amulet that was made from this material. So an amulet.
What?
Google it. I don't actually know what an amulet is. I just know the word. So it's a pendant or something. Yeah. I don't know. It could be a headdress.
It's an object.
It's an object. Hey man, I'm just the monkey here reading the
King
lines.
Tut. Who cares what King Tut does?
Yeah, but he's
do what
King
he wants.
Tut. He had a Libyan desert glass amulet, which
fantastic.
Maybe it's a bracelet. I have no idea. Okay, so that's what the grips are. The slide was forged by Jay Nielsen, which is a name you may
forged in fire.
Forged in fire. Yes. So it is forged from about 60% material from Gibeon meteorite, from the actual meteorite that we made the Big Bang set out of.
Jeez.
So it was remnants of that meteorite. The sites.
So he can forge. Man, that's so wild. So he can forge that.
Yeah. So if you look at the pattern here, there are these parts. I'll show it on this side. It's easier to see. These larger, smoother parts. That is actually the meteorite being forged into the billet of steel. So it's a Damascus steel slide forged with that Gibeon meteorite. The sights are also meteorite left over from the Big Bang set, and then the frame is also made from Damascus steel. So it is Damascus frame, Damascus slide, and then other meteorite parts. So stellar fusion, a fusion from many things from the sky.
Yeah. We got King Tut, we got Libya,
we have got amulets, which we're gonna have to look up, and
Maxim magazine.
Yeah.
Come on, fellas. Come on. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So value. To be able to reproduce this is just not possible.
Right.
I mean, with the desert glass, with the specific meteorite that we use for the Big Bang set, but it's all.
What are we guessing?
80,000.
Yeah. Feels about right.
Yeah.
Feels about right to me.
Feels good to you?
Yeah. Feels good.
As long as you're happy with it.
I'm very happy right now. Okay. Getting real spicy now.
We're getting down to the end.
Getting real spicy. Coming in, number 2. Okay, number 2. I can feel some little anger brewing in the comments because people are going to be like, wait a second, bro. What's going on here?
So there's not just one pistol sitting here.
What is going on here? Because to me, it's actually one of the more fascinating things that Cabot does.
Yeah, so before we get into the pistols, well, I'll just tell you, these are the prototypes for the Gun of the Month collection.
Yes.
So in 2020, we started this Gun of the Month collection, which we referenced a prototype earlier, where we have one gun per month that is limited and unique specifically to Gun of the Month Club. It will never be recreated.
Yeah.
They're all serialized. and you purchase the set as a set, meaning every single month a gun shows up at your FFL, and it is the same number in the series. In 2020, we started it with 20 spots. They filled up immediately, and we have a very, very long waiting list. In 21, we bumped it from 20 to 21 spots because that was the year. And then for 2025, we will stop at 25 spots. But these are the prototypes for the 2024 Gun of the Month. So there was 24 spots available for the Gun of the Month Club this year. So these are the prototypes. Now, in years past, we did 12 pistols, which was very exciting, and everyone got a different pistol every month.
Yeah.
But we had members that were in the club every year, and they kept the same serial number, and they just said, well, can you bump it up a little bit?
Yeah.
You know, can you make them cooler? And we can for certain, but we can't make 12 things to the level that we did this year. So this year, it became a deluxe club, and we really upped the ante with them. So it's 6.
Okay.
Yeah, this year is 6.
We got 4 of them here.
4 of them, and I'll talk about that in a second. So this was the February pistol. This is the Eye of Odin, which has a Damascus steel slide and a very, very tight pattern on the slide and the trigger. So this is a unique style of Damascus, a unique pattern that we have not used to this level before. So this is the Eye of Odin. This was our February pistol. And also the frame is a version of what you would see on our full dust cover frame. So if you look where the cutback is at the front and where it meets this shortened stirrup cut, it is different from a normal 1911 that we would have. The trigger guard has a little bit different shape. So this is a frame design that we only use on limited editions. Okay. So this was the February pistol, the Eye of Odin. And then we had the Jones 2.0 Gatsby edition, which was the next pistol in the series. So once again,
that's cool.
It has that super unique frame, that full dust cover frame, has a little bit different of a back cut. It has the Trinity serrations front and rear. That has been a Cabot hallmark for a while. The 14 karat white gold bead front sight. And then these pyramid style grips, very 1920s-esque. So this is the prototype for that pistol. The next,
and by the way, guys, just a disclaimer. We're aware that we're trying to give you guys as good of visibility as possible on these guns today, and it's a lot of guns to juggle. So we're at a tight space here. It's like a gun might be pointed at a human being. These also have like
short firing
pins for shows and display and stuff like that. So hey, chillax.
If you go to NRA or SHOT Show, like there's guns that it's impossible not to point at people. So when we have stuff like this, we have shortened firing pins in them because that just is how it is. There's 2 engraved pistols in the collection that we don't currently have because they're being used as the canvas for the engravers to do them. So Cabot Zeus is in there, which is another amazing full dust cover design, color case hardened frame, engraved slide with gold inlay. Completely unique style of pistol. And then there's Black Leaf by Lee Griffiths. So the engravers have those that they're right now. So we don't have them in the prototype set. Okay, and then this pistol right here, it is a full Damascus steel pistol. So that means the frame and slide are from Damascus steel. This is the Damascus Royale with some titanium nitride gold small parts, the gold bead front sight, and these very, very clear Sweetheart grips. The magazine, when you see it, it has windows cut out in it so you can see the sides of the rounds, which is just
it's cool. You've got the mag. Show the mag. You've got the mag over
there.
Yeah,
I've got the mag down here with some inner rounds in it, so you can see here just how it looks.
Yeah, super.
You can see that through the window there. Moving on to the final pistol in the collection, which is something that's got to speak to you and
double
me.
Stack,
double stack. So this is double stack 1911. This is Maximus. Okay, and it is a double stack 1911 that we just released last year. Our Insurrection is our normal model.
I've heard about it.
This is a little different. This has a Damascus steel slide and frame. So the frame on this, go ahead and take a look at that.
Dang, that's beefy.
You can see the Damascus steel slide and frame.
Boy, that is wild. And that is real cool.
The really cool thing about this is the using our Cabot Advantage internal extractor. You don't have an extractor tunnel at the back. So when you look at the back of the slide on a Damascus pistol now,
totally
there's no
clean
extractor tunnel. You don't have any extra steel just sitting there. So Very, very cool pistol. So this is the collection, the prototype for the 2024 collection.
This is cool.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
It also came with a matching case. So it has a case, a Gerstner case, a glass top that you can have to display your pistols in.
Yeah, this is cool. So I believe Gun of the Month Club is full, to my understanding.
Gun of the Month Club is very full. And there is a waiting list. It's a 6-figure annual commitment.
Yeah.
These are the prototype pistols, and collectability, wise, if I were to put a value on this entire set, $200,000 would not be unreasonable to have the prototype.
Yeah, especially given waiting list, you really can't get it. It's
you
not
can't
really
get
an
it.
option.
So yeah, that'd be a reasonable value to
Yeah.
place on the prototype.
Oh,
set.
we stepped it up big time on this one.
Yeah.
Stepped it up big time. What that means, coming up on number 1.
Yep.
Here we go. It's that time. It's that time. Number 1 spot. And if you don't mind, can I take lead on this one?
I think people are going to be very surprised, but I'm excited.
At the number 1 spot, valued at $500,000 because of its service on the streets.
The Street World War
of LA. MAC-10, it'll do you good, right? 30-round clip goes in the bottom of it. The grip is very ergonomic. Nice backstrap, very nice. Trigger so-so, room for improvement. I do find if you go from here to here, it cleans up quite a bit.
Yes.
Accuracy improves. So when in doubt, boys, the old Mac will get it done.
That's it.
As a backup,
Yes. As an alternative to make sure we hit the $1 million.
we will make everyone happy at home and show you some pistols. That's definitely a pistol, but why don't we get into this significance?
Yeah, so this is a set of pistols. It's 2 pistols that we made to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the landings in Operation Overlord for D-Day, when America went in and, along with all of our allies, re-liberated Europe from fascism. So this is a set of pistols that are very unique. The case is incredible. We'll go into all these details. I'm going to give you one of them, Jake.
Take it.
And I have another one here. So these are our 80th anniversary commemorative pistols, collectively known as the D-Day guns. So what's unique about them is the fact that the steel in the slide, the grips, and the triggers is steel that was forged by Ray Rybar, an amazing blacksmith, using materials that were on the beaches at Normandy. In fact, even some of the sand from the beaches of Normandy.
Get out of here.
Yeah, so portions of paratrooper clips, landing craft, and in fact, we have a helmet that was from the beaches there.
This just got me when I saw this.
So
Like,
this
holy
helmet
cow.
here, you can see there is a section missing in the back. That is one of the sections that was used to be forged into these billets. There was another helmet that was actually worn by Ray Rybar's uncle when he stormed the beach of Normandy. So this has a lot of historical significance. I could spend probably an hour just on these 2 pistols here, but it's the most historically significant project we've been involved with to date.
It's unreal. It's unreal.
Yeah, and so if you look at the slides, you can see inscriptions all throughout. Those are actually forged inscriptions. That's not engraving. So those were forged.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the
Okay.
letters are
Yeah, I'm
forged.
tracking.
All gave some, 6 June 1944, Ranger, paratrooper, some gave all. So if you look on one side, you can see all the writing in one direction, and then when you flip it over, you can see that it is in reverse.
Wow.
And that just shows that it is forged all the way through the billet. The pistol in my hand here, this was I don't want to say the prototype, but it was the test version. We did make two billets to turn into the slides because you don't really know how the material is going to react.
Yeah.
So we built it, we tested it, and it worked. So this pistol, which is D-Day 1944 serial number, is actually going to be on display at the Navy SEAL Museum in Florida. So there's a very significant display there specifically to, UDT and how they all participated in the D-Day invasion. So this will be on display at that museum. That pistol is I don't want to say the primary, but that was the final pistol. They have 2 different finishes to show off the pattern of the steel, the inscriptions, and everything.
God, I mean, like the details are so small. Like on the grip safety, I was trying to go, hang on, what does this say? I don't even know if does it say Milroy was here?
Kilroy was here. So that was a picture, and I don't want to say graffiti, but it kind of was, that you would see all over through France as they were moving through and liberating city after city. Yeah. So that was something you would commonly see, painted on walls and whatnot as Americans went through and got business taken care of there. If you look at the front of the pistol, it has Overlord on the barrel bushing. But very, very cool. This front sight is not a gold bead, which is a departure for us. This is a brass bead, okay? So normally brass beads are not highly as regarded as gold beads, but this is brass that was taken from rounds that were fired. So it's used brass from the beach at Normandy that was then cast into the bead to be put into our front sight. Whew. So pretty incredible stuff. These pistols are very, very significant, and we are so glad to have been able to be a part of this project. There were a lot of people involved. This case was made by a retired Navy SEAL, Jimmy Hinsky. There are maps inside of it and on the top. They weren't engraved. Well, they were engraved, but they weren't engraved by hand. They were engraved by explosives. So he used an explosive process to engrave the case itself. And you have copies of the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. So this case is pretty incredible.
And you got all the units and flags and things inside.
Yeah, the flags and the units. There are little details and Easter eggs that really abound through the case, through the pistol. It's everywhere. You could spend hours looking at the case and the gun and find something unique about it. We did raise over 6 figures for veterans charities by selling that pistol there. All of the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds went to veterans charities. And then this pistol, like I said, is going to be on display at the Navy SEAL Museum in Florida soon. So it's very cool. If we were to attach a value to these, it's really tough to do.
Yes.
It's like an actual value if you were just to sell it, to own it for your own collection.
It's a piece of not only art, but historical art, you know, for an American,
For an American, but not just America, for the world.
Yeah.
Like this is worldwide, European theater. This is a piece of history. So
where are we going?
I mean, just to put a number on it, 300,000 would not be unreasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's an unreasonable amount to say for a value for the pistols themselves.
Yeah. Man, there's 2 days ago I was in New York, and I was down by the Freedom Tower, and it's impossible, or it should be impossible, not to go there and feel the weight of it a little bit. And there's the helmet is what got me, where I'm like, oh man, that'll just kind of get you a little bit, But
to know that helmet was worn, during the invasion and the storming of the beach, and here it is. It really is a monumental piece of history that we don't take lightly. No,
and you guys crushed this. I mean, this is it's incredibly intricate. I mean, from the steel to the case to all the just Easter eggs that are all throughout here. It's unreal. It's really unreal. I've never seen anything quite like that. But I guess to wrap it up, that takes you to $1 million, everyone. You got $1 million in 1911's. A concept we didn't know if we could actually do, but Cabot was kind of like, we could probably do that.
We made some calls.
Yeah, we call in some favors. We got some guys with some guns. We can get some stuff done. So I guess maybe you guys like chime in below. Let me ask you this, just as a personal interest thing. Let's say that the world is your oyster. You can take anything from that list. What are you taking?
What am I taking from that list?
Yeah,
Nosferatu.
Same.
I'm sorry. Like that was, the planning portion that we get to do, because we have to plan this stuff years in advance.
Sure.
So this, the amount of planning that goes into it and the amount of time to go from concept to finished pistol, it's just crazy. But when we thought of that Nosferatu and we thought of all the little pieces, the engraved bullets in the shape of a cross, the inkwell for holy water. I mean, we had a lot of really crazy ideas that obviously didn't make it into the finished product that were just way too out there. I wanted to do a guide rod that was actually a spike. But it wasn't wood, and so someone said, well, you have to use a wood spike for vampires, and I wanted it to be, stainless steel, so it didn't match with the vampire lore. But that's the things that we thought about to create those pistols, and so that's one right there that is will be known for a long time.
Same. That's the one that actually like emotionally this gets me, but in terms of like a sheer like, wow, that actually like really like kind of gets me. The Nosferatu's like, oh my god.
A very close second, Cloak. The first time I set that down in a field and saw how it disappeared and moved a camera around, like that really was something that tugged at that emotional want. Yeah.
So you guys chime in. Let us know what's your favorite from the list. And I guess thanks for coming out. This is cool. This is fun.
Thanks for planning. This is very
we've
cool.
been, I've been friendly with the Cabot folks for a long time, so this is cool. A lot of fun, and party on. Later, everyone.